I did listen to news yesterday and he see some Islamic clerics. They say if the current INEC chairman do election, they no will recognize him. And one Sharia council yesterday, they talk say foreign intervention, they don't want military base. I just look at this people. Why do they play politics with religion? Now, so that they introduce Sharia for Nigeria, and then I won't ask how that Sharia take help now. Zamfara, where they first start Sharia is one of the poorest states, one of the most insecure states in Nigeria. As of today, northern Nigeria is the least developed. No, drug and substance abuse is very high in the north. Despite the fact that they talk about religion. Sharia one that they talk, they target rich people. I never see any politician when they call the hand, call the leg. I never see any rich man when they call the something because they sleep with another person's wife. Whereas now these poor Nigerians, when they steal maggi, yam, cattle because of hunger, now they cut their hand. Not be the Sharia one that they do, not be Saudi Arabia they do, not be Kuwait they do, not be Oman they do, not be Dubai they do, Qatar, all these countries they don't pass us. They get the same oil when we still get, but they use our wear. When I stop to they use religion, they do politics. Why not they want Sharia? Because Sharia will bring everybody under a religion. And it not go work. Now they do say now no God, now hold that religion power, whereas now no near God at all. Una be thief. Because all the money was supposed to go northern Nigeria in the name of religion, when they convince them, they vote for when they whole power. It don't reach them. Now una family, now the money they reach. Eh? Right? Not be who talk una sabi this thing pass Saudi Arabia when get the religion.
It shows that the Northerners are going to cause Nigeria to divide very soon because what they are requesting is not going to happen. Now, the Northerners are saying that Mr. President Bola Tinubu should remove the new INEC chairman because the man is suggesting Christian genocide, meaning that the new INEC chairman accepts that there is Christian genocide and is against Sharia law. So the Northerners are saying that what new INEC chairman did is against Sharia law to accept Christian genocide in Nigeria. And therefore, the Northerners are not going to accept any electoral results in 2027 from the same new INEC chairman. That President Bola Tinubu must remove him. That if he failed to remove the new INEC chairman that Tinubu put in power, that they are not going to accept any election votes, any result that the man called in 2027. Do you know what that means? That simply means that the country will divide. Because President Bola Tinubu is not going to remove that man. That's number one. He's not going to remove him. And number two, if the Northerners refuse to accept the presidential election results from the same man, that means it's going to cause chaos. It's going to cause problem in Nigeria. So now, but I don't know why, let me always say, I don't know why Nigeria and the Northerners always think that they own Nigeria. They can say whatever they want.
But Nigeria is under the control of Sokoto Caliphate. Nigeria is under the control of the Sharia sympathizers, okay? And this Sharia Council. Nigerians, rise up. See, every day, these people are having more power. Like, these people are in charge. I pity people who think that they will do election and INEC chairman self will even use his mind to, call results. Or after seeing manipulation, INEC chairman will cancel results. I pity people who also think like that. This country is sold out. If this country is not sold out, tell me why Meetiala leaders, Tinubu, built Ministry of Livestock, approved the Ministry of Livestock for them. Doing all those things for them. Yet, these people are transporting weapons to bandits. They are terrorizing, killing people. They just arrested their leaders in Kwara State yesterday. They just arrested their leaders again. Like, what do they want? Sharia state? If they have Sharia state, I have made recommendations more than 100 times. It is simple. If you want Sharia state, you will have your Sharia state. Be confined to your territory and have your state there. Don't use your own issue to disturb other people's issue. Don't use your own problem to be disturbing everybody. Well, I don't know what people are thinking, but I see another wave of terrible bloodshed, insecurity in Nigeria. I see another wave of something that people have never seen in Nigeria before. Yeah, it is time. These people are getting to that place where they will declare that yes, Nigeria must be registered fully, constitutionally as Islamic country. You see, many people are telling you it is not going to work, it's not going to work. Anybody that is telling you it's not going to work, tell the person, what have you done to stop it? What have you done to stop it? Yes, it is not going to work because other regions, other regions have succeeded mentally. For example, the Igbos, they have succeeded. So, part of them are no longer in Nigeria. So it would be very difficult for you to conquer those people. Even I know that most of the Southwest are 50% or 60% Muslims. I'm not against anybody's faith. Don't quote me wrong. I'm not against anybody's faith, but I'm against you forcing people into your faith by gun, with all sort of things, forcing people into your faith. I am against that. So, Islamic Council of Nigeria said they are not going to recognize 2027 election if Amopitan conduct it. No problem. Let's be watching. Let's see what they are going to do.
After a clear and a thorough observation, I could discover, say, if Iran that have more Muslim, radical Muslim, bandit, Boko Haram, ISIL, Hezbollah, ROCUG, Hamas, just name it. If the Iranians can still stand and cry for change, that they need a better government, they don't need Sharia law again, they need freedom. Nigeria did not have excuse. Yes, if not for the fact that we have more bandit leader in the political system in a key strategic position in Nigeria. Otherwise, we can do better.
Sharia Council is pushing for the removal of the INEC chairman who was just appointed simply because he's a Christian. While the previous ones who have headed in that office are all Muslim, nobody complained. Now that Tinubu selected someone who is from the other religion, these guys are not comfortable about this appointment. They are pushing that this guy must be removed and also persecuted with some pretenses over religious intolerance. Guys, does it mean that openly that Nigeria is now a Muslim country? President is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim. Now the INEC chairman that was just recently appointed by Tinubu, who is a Christian, is now an issue. The Christian Association of Nigeria is now pushing against this call by the Sharia Council that this cannot happen. Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory has rejected the call by the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, seeking for the removal of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amopitan. Reacting to the development in a statement signed on Thursday, chairman of the Northern CAN, Reverend Joseph John, and the Secretary General of Northern CAN questioned the motive behind the demand, asking who was sponsoring the call and why such interests are hiding behind the platform of a religious body, describing the call as a dangerous attempt to politicize the region and undermine a critical national institution, urging national actors to prioritize competence and national interest over sectarian sentiments.
You said the Constitution said there must be no state religion. Why do we have pilgrims board for both religion? And why does the government subsidize religious travel every year?
Am I quoting the Constitution wrongly? It says there should
no,
religion,
I
federation, or any part thereof.
Dr. Abati, yes, you stated it, but why do we now have pilgrims board and the government subsidize religious travel every year?
We have often, and it's a correct position to take, that politicians should not use the divisive factors of religion and ethnicity for their own political purposes.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why I said, it's politicians who do this for purposes of convenience and political opportunism. But it should not be something that people in positions of leadership should be promoting or using to incite the public. Incitement to violence or hatred is a felony.
Still talking elections, as the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria has renewed its call for the immediate removal and prosecution of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Joash Amopitan, ahead of the 2027 general elections, describing him as a threat to the credibility of Nigeria's democratic process. Well, the council warned that Muslims would neither recognize nor legitimize any election conducted under Amopitan's leadership, citing that what it described as serious integrity and neutrality concerns. The president of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Sheikh Bashir Umar, said the council's stance was based on what it described as the INEC chairman's questionable antecedents, particularly a legal brief he authored affirming the existence of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. According to him, the position taken by the INEC chairman amounted to divisive propaganda and raised serious doubts about his impartiality as the head of Nigeria's electoral body. You can imagine this is a topic that would generate a lot of feedback, especially on social media. Let's go to X quickly and see what people had to say. In this post, Yakubu wrote, appointments are not determined by feelings of religious groups. Nigeria belongs to all. Okweolua also posted and said, it must inspire confidence along religious and ethnic lines, but not competence. Ah, God. This last post on X says, well, it's hard to satisfy everyone in this country. What we truly need is a strong, principled leader who stands firm and makes decisions in the nation's best interest. I love that tweet because in essence, Nigeria is such a diverse nation that it's going to be impossible to please everyone. And we also don't expect the leadership to sell ice cream. They're not here to sell people ice cream, but we also do expect principled decision making. Dr. Abati, I'll come to you on this topic of this Sharia council saying that Muslims will reject any election under Amupiton. As if Muslims in Nigeria are one homogeneous monolithic group.
Well, I think that the Department of State Services, the DSS, and other relevant agencies should invite this Sheikh Bashir Umar for a conversation and to advise him accordingly, not to inflame passions, not to he himself spread divisive propaganda before the commencement of the 2027 elections. Interestingly enough, the Sheikh was talking about Nigeria's future, faith, leadership, and I think justice. Now, I cannot put that on the tripod of religious division and say that for religious reasons, on the basis of antecedents that he may not also be well apprised of, that the INEC chairman should be removed immediately. Otherwise, Muslims will not take part in the 2027 elections, or they will not accept the outcome of any results announced under the leadership of Professor Amupiton. No, that kind of rhetoric is dangerous for society, and that is why I think it should be called to order. Because as a sheikh, he occupies a position of importance. As president of the Sharia Council, he occupies a very important position, and there may be less knowledgeable people who may be tempted to believe what he's saying and then act on the basis of his own affirmation from the high pedestal that he occupies. The second point is about Professor Amupiton. Now, the antecedent that he's referring to, Professor Amupiton was said to have written a legal brief, which is in circulation, where, he's alleged to have said, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. I don't know what date this was, but nobody, I think, should capitalize on religious sentiments to say, because you are a Christian or because you are a Muslim, it's likely to affect the outcome. Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution is very clear that there shall be no state religion. Nobody is given a major appointment in government in this country on the basis written of being a Christian or a Muslim. Now people talk about tickets, Muslim, Christian, Muslim. It's a conventional thing. It's a tool of convenience for politicians looking for what best serves their purpose. But Nigeria does not have such an official policy, whether it's at the presidential level or anywhere. It's just convenience, and it's not written anywhere in law. And people should say that. What I expect the Sheikh to be saying is to mobilize his followers as Nigerians who have civic duty and responsibility to make their own choice, to vote, and to respect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well said, Dr. Abati. You said the Constitution said there must be no state religion. Why do we have pilgrims board for both religion? And why does the government subsidize religious travel every year?
Am I quoting the Constitution wrongly? It says there should be
no
state religion,
I said
federation, or any part thereof.
Dr. Abati, yes, you stated it, but why do we now have pilgrims board and the government subsidize religious travel every year?
We have often, and it's a correct position to take, that politicians should not use the divisive factors of religion and ethnicity for their own political purposes.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why I said, it's politicians who do this for purposes of convenience and political opportunism. But it should not be something that people in positions of leadership should be promoting or using to incite the public. Incitement to violence or hatred is a felony.
Absolutely.
Please tell Sheikh.
I'm sure he's gotten the message loud and clear. Very quickly,
I just want to say that I think the point at which our politics and governance will be elevated in this nation is when we're able to remove religion and ethnicity from conversations. For too long, it's been used as a tool, whether for good or whether for bad. So maybe we need to come to a point whereby religious leaders who wield such huge influence on their followers are not allowed to make certain statements, especially if it's in the interest of national security. I say this because this was a pre-Ramadan lecture, and we know just how highly revered these religious leaders are, whether in the Christian community or the Muslim community. Therefore, they have a responsibility for the statements that they make, because it could potentially have unintended consequences. And so maybe, that's why there's always that argument around religion and politics, we need them definitely. And like Dr. Bati said, their influence could be better channeled to having their constituents get involved in the democratic process without directly influencing by making statements that are very, directly attacking people. Because at the end of the day, the Christian genocide conversation has been contextual, depending on which group has been speaking about it. Yes, the federal government has an official position, but different groups also have positions that they have shared. And so bringing that into context and using that as now, if we have the elections and people start protesting based on what INEC does, it can be traced back to the statements. And that's why with much power and influence comes great responsibility.
Very well said, Ayo. Religion is something that should not be weaponized, especially as we're getting into this very heated period in the lead up to elections, where we know that it will be an intense campaign. So religion is not something that should be used as a weapon.
Hi, welcome back. I don't know the way these people think. I don't know the kind of power they think they have. This is the reason why we said that the Sharia should be out of Nigeria the other time. Although if everyone came out to protest when Nigerians were serious, then this Sharia of a thing wouldn't have been in existence today. If you know what is happening today, you will know that a lot of things is going on in Nigeria. The Sharia court now has called on Tinubu to take the INEC chairman out. They says that they don't want him again. The reason behind this is just because this man accepted Christian genocide that is happening. This man agreed with the Christian genocide and what the US are saying about the Christian genocide, even despite the fact that he is a Muslim. That is the reason why these northern clerics are now saying that instead where this kind of person to be an INEC chairman, instead they should bring another person who be say he understand more things about Sharia. Them, they think that this country called Nigeria is a Sharia country, and maybe they have been thinking that this country will be Islamized very soon. Maybe that is their thinking. Although when it comes to the populations of Nigeria, I don't think the North has the population that the South have. I don't think, but them, when it comes to anything, they want to be the head and never want to be the toe. Even though they are not the presido today, they want to be acting as if they are the Jagaban, and they want to be controlling everything, even despite the fact that they know that they are not the one ruling. They want to make sure anybody that is ruling is in their hand, and that is what they've been doing. Although I know it has been working for them in some aspects, because there are some aspects that Tinubu doesn't think in some of the decisions that he normally takes, because these are Turkey that he went to has shown us that Tinubu is listening to most of the advice coming from the north. Because the other time that the US wanted to come to invade Nigeria, then Gumi bin come out to say that instead of the US to come, they rather go for Turkey so that Turkey invade here to help them solve the genocide going on. Maybe that is what Tinubu went to Turkey to discuss about allegedly. Because if you know the news that was flying out recently, you will know that the presido of Nigeria for a while he was doing something with the Turkey presido. So maybe they were discussing something like that about this Christian genocide and many other things on how these people who invade this country. Maybe that is what they were discussing. Nobody knows. So this is why these Muslim clerics from the north still have the audacity and many other things to keep calling on Tinubu to put the INEC chairman out. Although this one is not gonna work, because this one is too clear to us that anybody who has seemed to be doing well, that person is not liked by the northerners. Although we don't even want anything to happen to this current INEC chairman, although we know that many things is going to happen in 2027. Even despite that, they should leave the man, even though he will be there to protect Tinubu re-election, or he is there to bring Tinubu back in 2027. For him to have chosen or say that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, there is an anthem of truth in him. So let him be there for some times. Let's see what is gonna happen. Although we know that even though this man is gonna be removed, he should not be removed by what these ladies are saying. If they want to remove this man, they can remove him in something like, maybe if he's done something wrong, they can remove him with that. But not this one. These people are saying that it is because of the Christian genocide. They should remove him because the thing he says concerning Christian genocide is against their own Sharia. That is why we see that Nigeria is not a country of the Islamics. So they should know. That is all we can see here. And to those of you who are here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.